how Indians will consume games, because he believes that Indians like a buffet and paying a very reasonable price for it. So Vishal's company, India Games, launched something called Games on Demand 3 years back, and they have tied up with all the broadband operators, be it BSNL or MTNL or Airtels of the world, and you can get a games on demand service in which all the games, PC games that are out there are available through that service, and you pay just 200 rupees a month for that service. So Vishal, how has it been for you, that service? And please feel free to articulate that offering of yours if I have not done justice to it. And how has it panned out for you? Because we've always known that you know pricing has been one of the key concerns, and perhaps what Atin is saying is positive from the point of view of the Section 8 plus and above, but I think what you're trying to do is to go really mass market. And how has it played out so far? And how do you see it going forward?
So just to give you a little background, I think 3 years back when we took a bet that we are not going to be doing MMORPGs and we're not going to be setting up cyber cafes. Internally within our team and our investors, and there was a lot of skepticism, and clearly the challenge for us was that we are going to a path which is completely uncharted. Telling people that we're going to charge subscription services, charge 200 rupees a month was unheard of. But I think the key thing which we believe in, and I think we kind of ratified by what Atul just said, is that India has its own consumer, its own entertainment preferences, and its own business models. And it's not very simple to import these business models from America, Korea, China, Japan, and say, oh, this is the Indian version of some Korean game or Japanese game. I think, the very fact that Sony is betting on street cricket and, Hanuman proves that you need to look at a local strategy clearly. So I think when we started up Games on Demand, I think our simple rule was that if you look at the cable TV business in India, the reason it is successful is because people pay a fixed price, 100, 200 rupees a month, and they get whatever, 400, 300 TV channels. And even though they don't see each of those 400 TV channels, the consumer in India has this inherent feeling that, I have got 400 channels, even though, and nowadays if you see Tata Sky and all the other people advertising, it's more about the number of channels they have. Whether the consumer sees it or no is not the point over here. So we took that idea and we said that why don't we create a service where we give them access to all kinds of games of various genres, be it racing, be it social games, be it MMORPGs, be it action games, and we did create our own content. For example, Cricket T20 Fever, the IPL stuff is what we, so we did added our own stuff, but we said let's create a buffet of all the good things, and I'm sure in Hyderabad everybody, and so in India we all love thalis, and we love the buffet concept. So we created a fantastic games offering, and the idea was to offer this on broadband connections and make the billing very simple. That is, billing happens on your broadband bill. Let me tell you, in the first 2 years we completely failed doing this, and the reason we failed was because we spent a lot of money on advertising, which probably didn't really convert. So we did television ads, we did newspapers, we did all kinds of Google advertising and all of that. And the real interesting story, and I think this is what we won an innovation award last year from NASSCOM, was what we actually found out, and was that people in India do not know how to play games. And when I say people in India, I'm not talking about the metro cities, I'm talking about the B and C and the smaller cities and towns. And when our people contacted them, they said, listen, we love gaming, we've heard a lot about it, we see all ads by Sony and everybody on TV, but I really don't know how to play games. And we started off by teaching people how to play games, and we had a 5-man call center in our office who used to dial out and say, this is how you download, this is how you play first level, and hey, this is how you play Age of Empires. So we started training them games, and started giving them free accounts to basically learn these games. And staggeringly, we used to see almost 30 to 35% of these people, or in certain cases even 40% of these people who took free accounts actually converting into
Wow,
paid
that's very
usage.
high.
And today I'm really happy to say that we've actually created a new form of, new category of skill set. And we currently have 400 people across this country who actually teach people how to play games. And that's really how we are selling, we are not only selling, we are introducing people to the world of gaming. We are introducing them to how games are consumed. And we believe these are the kind of users who will then eventually upgrade to a PlayStation and they will go up the value chain. Because right now, most of their experience was on flash games, which is not really, which is okay for a 30-second or a 3-minute experience. The kind of gameplay we see in our services, people spending on an average 16 hours a week playing these games. And
16 hours a week.
16 hours a week is the kind of average time people spend on the service. Of course, there are certain people who even go beyond that. And I think the other interesting anecdote really is that we now have, I think, given about 500,000 free accounts who are using this service, and we have a good percentage of that actually paying us 200%. So I think finally we have cracked the model and the myth that there is, that there is no way to charge people to play games in India online, because that's where the whole advertising model came in. I think we've kind of broken that myth, but I think a lot more needs to be done. And with the broadband revolution coming in, I think the whole 3G dongle market.
So I want to know more about your optimism, if you have optimism. How will the broadband and 3G, how do you think it's going to impact your business? Because you're depending on PCs, and PCs are still a challenge. So how do you see that playing out?
And PC sales are actually, I'm not call them PC sales, laptop sales are staggering. I mean, if you look at the number of laptops sold in this country, I think it's never been that big. And you have Hrithik Roshan's and Shah Rukh Khan's of the world advertising laptops, which is really good. At the same time, we currently have about 9 million broadband users. These 9 million users are the traditional DSL broadband connection. However, I think this 9 million number is going to jump to 30 million. 30 million in 2 years. And this 30 million, 9 to 30 million is going to happen on the back of 3G dongles. So you are already seeing advertising of Tata Docomo and MTS and Tata Photon Plus and Reliance Net Connect. So I think the same thing what happened to our wired telephone lines and mobile, and how mobile is today 700 million and wired is actually decreasing. The same trend is going to happen even on broadband, and I'm sure there are many people within this room who use some kind of a 3G dongle to access fast-speed internet. At the same time, this is going to be coupled with 4G, as we all know that there are not only 3G options, but 4G has come in with
wireless broadband,
with WiMAX and the next generation of broadband speeds. And we're going to see a number of services launching. And I think the two real services which are going to benefit from this is going to be video. I think we're going to see a lot more video streaming and a lot more video-based services and gaming. And I think we are trying to kind of capture that part of the market.
So if there is a Nobel Award for helping grow the gaming industry in India by teaching people to play with 400 people in a call center, it should certainly go to you.
Well, believe me, it is still not enough. I think we require 4,000 people to go and have India play games.
So true. I mean, it's there is that little barrier which is, which we guys who are, so comfortable in technology, we just assume that people are, it will be easy for people. Which is where I think a lot of our guesswork of how the mobile business would go, games on the mobile, we thought it should have exploded, right? And that's where I'm coming to Nitish. We thought there's no reason why it shouldn't explode. 650 million mobile users growing at 15 million mobile users being added every month. But then when we see the actual number of people who have data enabled, it's a very small percentage, and within them the user base which is active in gaming is a very small percentage. And a lot of that has to really do with, and there are a couple of issues there. In the West, in the US, you buy a phone for a contract, a 2-year contract. It's already set up with the GPRS settings and there's the App Store, games, all those icons are already working. Whereas we don't have that in India, which has been one of the biggest impediments for But there's also the issue of people don't know how to play and they may try something it's too difficult. What's been your experience last year or so? And you also have a very interesting similar model as Games on Demand, and how have you seen that play out for you?
Sure. So, is it working? Yeah. So, in the last 5 years that we have been active in the mobile gaming space in India, I would say the first 4 years of the last 5 years have, there's been a lot of hype about mobile gaming, and there have been 200, 300, 400, now 700 million cell phone users. But it never actually translated into actual business or people actually downloading games and playing them to the extent that they should. As Rajesh mentioned a few key reasons for this. One was accessibility. Customers did not have the correct settings on their phone to access data. The data plans had to be manually activated by calling the call center of the carrier. It was expensive, and the network itself didn't used to work. So even once you activated the data plan, half the time it's working, half the time it's not working. So the user experience was very bad. Besides this, the carriers who really have the Vodafones and Airtels of the world, who really have the marketing power, had never really gone ahead and pushed such content. In fact, they even today have not. You really might have not seen a television ad yet, promoting mobile games by, let's say, Vodafone or Airtel very aggressively. So there's been a lack of awareness, but a lot of these things in the last 1 year have started changing. So what the carriers have started doing is, today when you insert a SIM into a phone, automatically within a few minutes you get an SMS saying these are your GPRS settings, or these are settings to access Vodafone Live or Airtel Live, and customer just has to save that to activate his phone. What this has resulted is in the last 1 year a huge explosion in mobile data and mobile internet usage. I was reading some numbers which said that in the last 1 year it's grown by almost 600%, and today every month from the mobile phone 3.6 billion page views are being generated just in India. Now that's with 3G coming, that's going to grow even faster. That's what we're all looking for. But that's what we've seen in the last 1 year. And in the last 1 year, we've also seen the gaming business grow on mobile phones. Not, I would say, not to the tune of 600%, but it has definitely moved from the stagnation that it was for the previous 4 years. Another hindrance on mobile gaming in India was customers were asked to pay, let's say, 99 rupees for a game without even trying out the game. And more often than not, customer used to download the game, pay 99 rupees, and not really enjoy the game. It's not a good quality game, and all those issues. Now think about who this customer is. It's mostly the college student with limited pocket money. So once he spends 300-400 rupees, not enjoy the experience, he used to say, forget it, I'm not going to spend money in wasting on these mobile games. This is where our model which we introduced about a year and a half ago, and which is very similar to the model Vishal just explained on the PC. What we call as Games Club on mobile is exactly the same model, where they are charging 200 rupees for a broadband experience on the PC. We charge 99 rupees, where earlier customers had to pay 99 rupees to play one game. Now you can pay 99 rupees and play a catalog of over 300 games on your mobile phone. And we've partnered with all the best game providers in the world. So that includes companies like Electronic Arts, which has games like Need for Speed, or right now they're releasing Harry Potter with the latest Harry Potter movie release, or you have Gameloft, you have India Games, for example. So you have a lot of premium content. Customers are getting value for money,